everyone, welcome to the B-Side Breakdown. My name is Brett Johnson, and I'm your host. This is episode 52 of a podcast where I talk with other artists, musicians, and songwriters about a song they've written that's meaningful to them that they want to talk about, but I need to get permission from them to play the song in its entirety on the episode in advance so you can hear it before we have our conversation. That way, you have some idea what we're talking about. All right, so today I'm going to be talking to Marc-Alan Prince about his song, The Damned. Let's get into it. Here is The Damned by Marc-Alan Prince.
Well, I'm addicted to the way I feel every single day. From drunken nights and stupid fights and every girl along the way. But nothing was the same since I woke up in that hotel. My devils chased me out of heaven, I ended up in hell. I wanted it so bad, should've known it wouldn't last. But when I tried to escape, it all burned so fast. No matter what I tried, you said I was wrong. So at the bottom of a bottle is where I belong. Well, we are the ones they call the damned. To youth and all of its romance. To all the ones that never had a chance. We are damned. Well, I'd stay up for days, I don't middle age. From empty claws and broken straws, I know I can't be saved. If you wanna be the one, well, you gotta live the life. But chasing perfection always has the biggest price. I'm sick with longing that it almost slips away. Until I try to be better than I was yesterday. Still up at 5 a.m. with a list of my regrets. Wondering who will be the next one to make the list. Well, we are the ones they call the damned. To youth and all of its romance. To all the ones that never had a chance. We are damned. We are the ones they call the damned. Doomed youth and all of its romance. To all the ones that never had a chance. We are the ones they call the damned. Doomed youth and all of its romance. To all the ones that never had a chance. We are damned.
All right, and that was The Damned by Marc-Alan Prince. I have Marc-Alan on the line right now to chat with me about the song. Hey, Marc-Alan, thank you so much for taking some time today to chat with me about the song, your new record, and everything else that's going on.
Hell yeah, man. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So, love that you're from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I'm originally from Minneapolis, so it's fun to talk to another person from the Midwest. Are you originally from Milwaukee?
No. I live here now.
Okay.
But I'm originally from Texas.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. Right on. Well, glad to see that you're making music and claiming Milwaukee for this. I really love the song. I love the energy behind it. There's a lot of power in it, and it's raw, and it's just stripped down, and I love every aspect of it. Why did you want to talk about the song today?
Well, I got the album coming out here pretty soon. And this track, it was tough. It was tough for me to write it, and I think any song that has any sort of a difficulty and in a good way,
Yeah.
that it's important to, I don't know, share it as much as you can, and get whatever message you had in it out there to the world.
I hear you. No, I absolutely get it. And, a lot of the lyrics clearly resonate with me, and I really just respond to a lot of what you have in there. Is there anything, I'm curious, like lyrically, what are you talking about? Kind of current state where you're at, or something you're struggled with, or something you're struggling with, or something you want to be different, or something you saw in someone else?
No, it was definitely like an inner shot at myself. It
Okay.
was it when I was writing this whole project, it was kind of like finally like going backwards and taming some of those like demons from when I was younger, like much
Sure.
much younger.
Yep.
And just growing up and feeling different and looking different and being different and trying to make my way in the world. And then sometimes you take a couple of stumbles and you make the wrong turns sometimes, you know.
Yeah.
But
I know.
that song like specifically was kind of like this at one point, you know, it was trying to like I was playing music a lot, right? And I was really really hitting it hard when I lived in Austin, Texas at the time, and it was just like I really was trying to go after this thing that was really like I don't know, it's like trying to be perfect, right? And none of us are perfect. I'm not perfect, and it was like a really like a battle between that, you know. And it was kind of like facing the fact that you know you're gonna fuck up. There's gonna be wrong turns, and then sometimes you just might end up places that you really didn't want to, you know.
Yeah, I do. So, what was the image of perfection you were trying to attain when you were in Austin? Can you talk about that?
Yeah, I wanted it all, man. Like I was so young, and the bands that I was in, we were doing a lot. We were playing all the time. Like I think at one point we were on the road like 8 months out of the
Sure.
year, solid, you know. And it was really after that, you know, and I didn't care like what it took. And so like uh it's kind of this line that I think of. It's like, you know, the doomed youth is romantic, doomed middle age, not so much.
Right.
And that's kind of ultimately what got me back into the circle of it. It was just like, man, remember when, you know, you were just young, you didn't care, you just went out there and fuck it all, and then you realize you're getting older and you're like, oh, oh, okay, maybe not no more.
Yeah. No, I totally get that. I get that. There's this doomed youth and all of its romance. I totally just so resonate with that. I mean, because same thing for me in my 20s. I was right. It was like, no, let's get the band together. We're rehearsing 3 or 4 days a week. We're getting the record
Yeah.
done. Let's go on tour. Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go. Let's go. And it's
Mm-hmm.
like we give everything we got to it. Day jobs are disposable, and I'll quit this one to go on tour and get another one when I get back. Like, who cares? Let's go. Let's. This is the deal. This is what we're doing.
Exactly.
And what I found, and I'm interested in your experience with this. For me, it turned out that I was kind of sort of the only one that was actually really going at it that way, whereas almost everybody else I was doing that with, to a point they were, but then they all just kind of started to fall off as we all got older, as actually I'm having a kid, or I got this career in this other capacity that is now what I'm doing, or I got married, or I bought a house, or there was some other thing that became their focal point rather than it's sort of this, us against the world, ride or die, kind of let's go make this happen. And then you're like, fuck, like, well, okay, let's go find the next group to do this with.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Did you run into that?
Oh yeah. Like the first band that I was really like making my bones with, like we just imploded. It was one of those things where we were just together for too long, you know, touring a lot, just really like really roughing it, man, you know. And then it just got to the point where it was just like, yeah, there's no way that any of us could be in the room together
Yeah.
again, you know. But then the other guys ended up having families, I think, or whatever. And then I've been in other groups um where it's like it is like your best friends and you're hanging out and you're doing this thing and you're touring and we're going overseas and we're doing it. And it kind of never really, it was weird. It stopped, but it also uh, it didn't stop because anybody was like, "Oh, I couldn't do this anymore." It just had a natural kind of progression to it. And
Sure.
but we're all still like really really good friends. We still have like a text thread together that we talked on, you know, pretty regularly, or send each other messages Instagram, and that was like the best band that I've ever been in. Something like that where we tried so hard and we did it and we did so much really quick. Um, but then when we stopped, it was like, you know what? Like we're still friends. And that to me
Yep.
was like really, really like important, especially at that time.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I had that. Man, when you described that about imploding, I remember getting back from a tour and I just knew, I'm like, dude, either you or I gotta go. Like, this just
Yeah.
doesn't work, and it was, yeah, that was brutal. I mean, and there was a bunch of, yeah, I mean, I was pretty bullheaded too when I was younger, and I knew I was driven and I knew what I wanted and I knew what I wanted to go get. And if you weren't on board with it, then don't tell me you're on board with it. It was like I wasn't rolling over people and hurting people. Like that wasn't what I saw anyway. If other people felt hurt by my actions, I mean, I've made a lot of amends in my past, but at the same time, it's one of those, I was just really driven and I had a direction and I knew where I wanted to go and I was trying to get there with the right people. And it's like, sometimes people have the best intentions and they think that they're in there until all of a sudden it shows up and it's like, no, here's the decision. Like, are you getting in the van and going on tour with us now or not? And then it becomes real and it's like, oh wait, yeah, no, I can't do that. Okay, cool. But yeah, no, I totally resemble all those things that you're talking about. Are you self-releasing this? Is this coming out on a label? How is this coming out?
Yeah, it's a mostly a self-release. I am teaming up with a buddy of mine out in Austin, Texas. Actually, a guy that I played in bands with. His name is Dylan Disaster. He's super awesome. We played together in a band called Knockin' Bones, which was the band that I was talking about how we stopped and but we were all still close friends.
Yeah, yeah.
He runs this small label out of Austin called Travel Well Records, and he helped me release my first solo thing, which was 2 years ago now. And so I was like, hey, let's do this again. What do you think? And he's like, oh fuck yeah, let's do it. So a little bit of help, but for the most part, it's a self release.
That's great. No, that's awesome. And I'm looking back at your kind of past catalog. I see that from a couple years ago, but then I see that live at Bridge City Sessions from 2019. What was that in before the 2024 thing? Was that like just pre-COVID and COVID happened and maybe derailed something, or was there's just I see
Oh
the 5 year gap? Like what
yeah,
happened?
yeah. COVID like really put a stop to like a lot of stuff. I mean, a lot. Um, I also play drums in a band here in Milwaukee called Avenues. It's like pop punk, skate punk, uh, straight up, fast stuff. I really
Yeah.
love. It's a great band. Shout out to all my Avenues guys out there. We we were recording a record, and then COVID happened, and that like pushed our release back so much, and then I had a couple of things that I was working on for my solo stuff.
Hmm.
And then once that happened, it was just like, you know what? This is putting everything on hold. And I really took my time um like getting back to it. Um, you know, I didn't want to rush like getting out there and something happening. Um, I also just didn't want to like rush something just to do it, you
Yeah.
know. And I had my home studio, so I was always working on music, and getting ready for like whenever the day would come that I would, get back out there. But at the time, I was really just trying to focus on like my mental health because
Hmm.
obviously there was a lot of stuff happening then, and I just wasn't in a good place. When that happened, like I'm sure a lot of people weren't in a good place when that happened or
Of
started
course.
or
Yep.
continued. But for me, like at that time specifically, I had moved to Milwaukee, and like as soon as I moved to Milwaukee, like put my bags down, got in my apartment. It was like, okay, next week we're going on the road. Like, okay. And so then like, and that's how it had always been. I never even actually really like hung out in Milwaukee at that time. And so when COVID happened and we're like all locked down, I'm like in my apartment and I'm like, oh my God, there's like nothing in this place. And
Yeah.
it had been like that for, since up until that point. So I was like, oh my God, I actually have to like, really get furniture and really get like, a bed in here and something that's like nice,
Sure.
it made me really think of like my setup, and anytime anybody would come over, they'd be like, oh, you have a nice place here. And I'm like, yeah, encourages me to work on the road. So
So what brought you then to Milwaukee? Was it Avenues? Like, were you already in the band or something? And because you sound like you said you got there, dropped your bags, and went on the road. What brought you to Milwaukee?
yeah, it was Avenues. I was already their touring drummer,
Oh,
um,
okay, got it, got it.
which is another thing. A lot of like hired gun stuff. So if somebody needs, drummer, guitar player, bass player, piano, I'll go on the road and I'll do that. And I had always had a good time coming to Milwaukee. Like every time we were up here, I was always having just like the best time.
Yeah,
Um, and then right before I moved out here, what happened was I ended up getting sick in while I was living in Austin. I got this really really bad infection called diverticulitis. I don't know if you're
sure,
familiar with it.
a little bit. Yeah,
Yeah, that is awful, man. That is so painful. It's it'll fucking just bring you down to your knees. The pain of it, And then and at that time also I was living like room to room or couch to couch or living out of my van because at that time I was on the road like 5 6 months out of the year. I was like, I'm not gonna like rent an apartment that I can't even afford in Austin, Texas, and not live in it.
right.
So my lifestyle wasn't doing me any favors, but then ended up, getting sick. I had surgery. They removed 6 inches of my colon or my lower intestine, I should say,
Wow.
and put everything back together. They checked me out. I was out of the hospital for like 2 hours, and then the repaired intestine started leaking. Like it kind of erupted.
Okay.
And so then like I instantly like became like sepsis, was rushed back in the hospital. And I spent the next 4 weeks in that place, like just like fighting to come back. And ultimately it was like once I got out of that situation,
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna rough it anymore. Like that's a sign. Like that was like my body telling me, like, dude, you can't do this like anymore. You need a kitchen. You need you know,
You need a kitchen.
amenities. You
Yeah.
need
Right.
like you can't be eating fucking fast food or out of the garbage like every day. You know what I mean? We need something else. Um so that was that. And then when I was looking at places to move to, I was looking at several cities, honestly, because I knew I didn't want to live in Austin anymore. I wanted something different. Like I had a place that I was looking at in New Orleans. I had another one that I was looking at in like in the Brooklyn area, even though I knew I couldn't afford it, but I was still like, oh man, wouldn't it be great?
Well, yeah, wouldn't it?
Yeah. And then the guys in Avenues were like, hey, there's this apartment. And then I was like, holy shit, for real? Like that's what you want? That's all they're asking for the place? And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll move there. That sounds great. I could afford that and
Sure.
still do what I want to do?
That's great. That's awesome. That's awesome. So then when did you move to Milwaukee? What year was that?
2018.
Okay, got it. And then the Live at Bridge City sessions, was that recorded in Milwaukee? Is I don't know what Bridge City is.
No, Breed City Sessions was is out of Portland,
Okay.
Oregon. Yeah. So I went out there and recorded did part of the Bridge City Sessions, which is uh a great group of guys. They do really really well. They make great videos. They have great shows. Um yeah, I really love those guys out there. And they actually were a huge inspiration to my new record,
Oh,
actually.
nice.
Yeah.
That's cool. Right on. So got it. So then Unforgiven comes out in 2024 and your buddy from Austin helped release that too on his label. Is that right?
hmm Yeah.
All right, cool. And then you got Runaway that comes out in a couple weeks.
Right.
Cool. So what are you doing with that? Do you already got something mean, do you have like release shows? Do you have like a tour planned? Are you doing anything specific like that? Like, what do you have happening?
Oh yeah, all of it. So
Good.
I have a record release show here in Milwaukee at Irving Place Records.
Okay.
It's just down the street. It's a record shop owned by some friends. Um, it was kind of, I honestly wasn't thinking I was going to do a record release show. Um, but then this kind of just, came together really, really nicely. Very headache free.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? Okay, cool. We can do this. And I got, as soon as like the show was like looking like it was going to happen, the first person I called was an amazing talent here called Madam Fury. And I was like, hey, I want you on the show. And they were like, cool. So that's that. And we're doing that one May 9th,
Okay.
uh, Irving Place. And then right after that, I'm getting back on the road, flying down to Texas and doing 4 dates out there, doing Houston, Arlington, San Antonio, and Austin.
Awesome. That is awesome.
Yeah, and then right after that, then in June, then I'm flying to the East Coast and doing like 5 or 6 days over there, like from Boston, Providence, Brooklyn, Asbury Park, Kingston, New York. Um, yeah, so doing a lot of flying this year.
Yeah. No, that's great. And that's great. So it's basically just you. Is the record you, your voice, acoustic guitar, and harmonica? Is that basically it, or is there other instrumentation on it?
No, 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 that's it. So the way that the record was done, um, like I said, this record was like hugely inspired by Bridge City Sessions.
Yep.
So um, my and Max Cunningham, who's involved in all of my everything that I do. Um, we had this idea of like, hey, let's rent a house in Austin and record the record in there. And like, whoever has been in a band has had that idea. Am
Oh
I
yeah,
am I
for
right?
sure. Yeah.
Yeah,
Everyone. Right.
everyone. And so, let me tell you, it is as amazing as you think it is going to be. Like, it is that cool. Um, so I rented this house. We totally like rearranged the living room. We set the whole thing up. We rented a bunch of music gear from Rock and Roll Reynolds in Austin, Texas. Shout out to them. Um, we put together everything. Then we set up a bunch of lights, or then we set up all the mics and everything, and I just recorded it live. And my buddy Max was like, "Hey, let's film the performances as well. So you'll have like the recordings, but then you'll have video of the
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
recordings.
Awesome.
So that's the live session part of it. So that's what we did. We recorded all of the takes that were kept, and so I have that coming out at some point this year. I'll be releasing the six tracks for like YouTube on my YouTube channel, and yeah, I'll have like the actual performance of the record.
That's awesome. I can't wait to see that too. That's great. So with all the traveling that you're doing, and that's awesome setup. I've been done my share of fly dates, which is really handy when you have the right gear and you can do that. But
Yeah.
that's awesome. That yeah, I mean, right. I can go to Texas and then just go do a Northeast U.S. run. Like that's awesome, and without having to drive like 9 days to get between the two.
Oh
Um,
man, yeah.
yeah, no, that's incredible that you get to do that. Are you then? I just saw that some of the fest lineup was out there. Are you involved in that at all? If you can share it.
No, I am not involved in that. Not this year. Hopefully next year, I'll make the cut. We'll see.
I hope so too.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a while since I've been down there for Fest. I think the last time I was there was 2014.
Sure.
Yeah, so it's been a minute for sure.
No, I hear that. I hear that. That's cool. So where is then? So okay. I know the record comes out May 5th. Where should people go buy your record? I mean, should they go to Bandcamp? Should they go to the label? Where should they go?
So my Bandcamp will have vinyl and merchandise available for sale. I actually do have a pre-order going on right now too, with like a bundle and special pricing for that. But for the vinyl, like Bandcamp, or come out to the show because chances are I'm going to be near you pretty soon. And if you want to stream it online, it'll be Bandcamp, my SoundCloud. It'll also be on Apple Music and YouTube Music, but it will not actually be on Spotify.
Got it. Cool. Cool. Are you coming to Atlanta?
That's actually going to be in right now. August will be the Midwest is my plan,
Okay.
and then like either early October. My plan is to get down to the South, so like Atlanta, Athens,
Yeah,
maybe like Asheville.
for sure. Oh yeah.
Yeah, so that's like my plan for early October. I still haven't started booking yet. Still a little ways out
Yeah, yeah.
to start on that one, but that's like going to be like the next plan. So if I'm able to do it, then I'll have hit like Texas, Northeast, Midwest, and the South, all in one calendar year.
That's awesome. Well, I'll keep track of that for sure because downtown, I mean, like the Earl is an hour for me, Athens is an hour for me, and Asheville's a couple hours for me. So I'd love to come out and see you.
Right on.
That'd be cool. Cool. So then, where is then the best place for everybody to follow you in general? Like, is it Instagram? Is it or somewhere else?
I would say probably Instagram is probably the best place right now. Like I have Facebook, Instagram, Blue Sky. I have a TikTok page, but to be honest with you, the only videos that people want to see on that is me like dancing funny to like a funny song, and that's the
Awesome.
only time like I'll get like 15,000 views and like 2,000 likes, and then I'll post something about like, hey, my name's Mark Allen. I'm coming to play a show near you. You should come out, and then it's like
One.
a hundred views, two
I know.
likes.
I know. I hear you.
So yeah, so if you want to watch me dance funny or do funny skits,
That's
then that'd be
hilarious.
on TikTok. But
All
then
right.
after that, yeah, so I would say like Instagram, Facebook's. If you're still using it, then that's a good one too.
Sure.
Um, yeah, I really want to try to get some sort of other outlet. I don't know what exactly.
Yep.
Um, but I really would like to uh try to do something more.
Yeah. Well, you have a YouTube channel. You said too, right?
Yes, yeah, there you go. I was about to get that one out there. Yeah, I have my YouTube channel also, it's just Marc-Alan Prince. And yeah, that I'll be putting out more, music video based stuff. I have a music video out right now for my first single, The Damned, which was filmed in Austin, Texas by Max Cunningham.
Yep.
Uh, and then yeah, I'm hoping to have the next music video in June.
Cool. And you'll announce that on Instagram or wherever else anyway. But people subscribe to your YouTube channel, they should get that update, but also follow you on your socials and they'll see when those things are posted.
Yeah, absolutely.
So is there, I mean, I'm looking at your catalog of stuff that you've put out, and there was a single that I missed. It looks like you had a single Holding On that came out in 2018. Are there any other releases kind of in there that aren't on your Bandcamp right now?
Actually, yeah. Last year of May, we put out, or I should say, I put out a live split record with one of my best friends in the world, Red at Night from Berlin. Um, and we put a live split record on DCPC Live. We put that out in May of last year. And the really cool and funny thing about that one is we didn't put it online at all. Like none of the tracks are on either of our Bandcamp pages. None of it's on Spotify. None of it's on Apple Music. We just decided to do something that was like super old school. Like if you want to hear this record, you're gonna have to come and buy it.
That's awesome. That is awesome. And where were you touring that record? Where did was that? Was that internationally or was that just in the United States?
It was both. So in May, when the record came out, we started our tour in Germany. We actually ended up doing 25 shows across 8 countries in the month of May. And we toured Germany, Netherlands, Belgium, Switzerland, Italy, uh, Austria, Hungary, and Czech Republic.
And you did all that last year and sold out this release in its entirety.
we did that in May, and then we did another tour together in the States in late September, early October.
Yeah.
And we toured like the Midwest, East Coast, down the South. And we cut over to like Texas and all the way back up. And so between those two tours, we ended up selling out that record. So from May to October, we sold out that record with no online presence whatsoever.
That's awesome. Congratulations for doing that. That's just such an awesome thing to hear, that with no online presence at all, you were able to do that. And for all of us that are not able to hear it now, it's our loss, because it's not out there for us to get. And DCPC Live, they did it, but they don't. I talked to them a handful of episodes ago, but they don't archive that live, right? Like that's not available for streaming on their website or anything.
No, I think you could opt for that option.
Okay.
Actually, now I'm thinking about it, they might have one track up. If that listing is still there, there might be one track on the listing, and then like that's it. But
Okay.
but yeah, it was a thing. I've always, I don't have this record on Spotify right now, and I probably won't do it. I have an issue, I guess, with the live streaming stuff, or
Sure.
not the live stream, the streaming stuff, and especially with Spotify, just like in my mind, like being the ones that just like really take it from you,
They do.
I always wanted to put out a record that wasn't online, and when Red and I decided to do this one, we were like, let's not put it online, and that, like, when we both agreed to do that, it was like the best feeling ever, to be like on the same page, like somebody sees it the same way you do, and
Yeah, that's amazing.
and yeah, I just have such a like hard time with it myself, and but if it was up to me, I wouldn't put it online. But I do want this. I'm very proud of this record, Runaway, and I do want people to hear it. So it was like, okay, you know what? Let's put it online. But that's like where I draw the line. But I do want people to hear it.
Yeah.
Because I'm really, really proud of this one, and yeah, I just want more people to hear it and maybe get something out of it.
Well, man, I'm super excited for you. I'm super excited for this record to come out, and you sound like you have just a awesome schedule of greatness coming for you this year. And I'm super excited to see how that all shakes out. Like that just sounds like so much fun and a really fun adventure. Good for you on all of it. And yeah, man, I mean, thank you so much for chatting with me about it today.
No, thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Three Crows Club presents B-Side Breakdown. I couldn't find it, I couldn't see straight. I figured I lost it. My mind is such a bad state. I'm lost and I can't figure it out. I've never been so full of doubt. Drawn to your magnet, but I don't understand it. I stepped into the clearing, and suddenly I'm feeling the hum of life buzzing through me.
Alrighty, that wraps up another episode of the B-Side Breakdown. I want to thank Marc-Alan Prince for coming on to talk about this song today. In the background, you're hearing the song Magnetic Rock by the band E52. Please go back and listen to this episode because that's what it's all about. Up next, I have the band Overton coming in to talk about their song High on Faith, and I'll give you a taste of that at the end of this episode. Thank you so much for all of your continued support. Please go to bsidebreakdown.com to listen to all the latest episodes. We also have a link there to our Patreon if you want to support us in other ways. I want to thank Adam Coulong and Carrie Bozel for helping me put together the jingle you hear at the beginning and the end of this episode. Please subscribe to this podcast wherever you get your podcasts. Stay safe and sane out there as best you can, and we'll catch up in the next one. Thanks.
Oh my God, there's feral children dancing in the yard. Gay communists are colonizing Mars, and they Have you seen